T-minus 1 minute and counting. Three, two, one.
From the Royal Thai Air Force Museum,
Welcome to
the Flyer Show.
I missed that bit.
You did.
Hello and welcome to this week's Flyer Show. My name's Ian Seeger.
I'm Ed Hicks.
And I'm Dave Calderwood.
And you're back.
I'm back. I wasn't here last week. I went to, well, amongst other places.
For the people who can't read the tiny letters on your hat, where did you go?
I went to see a flight training show in Paris, and then I popped down to La Rochelle to see Elixir.
All right, in the sunshine.
Yeah, I took here's a little video I took while I was there. It was quite impressive in the sunshine. It was as wet as it is here.
We're
frankly.
presuming the words La Rochelle means
no.
beautiful.
La Rochelle.
No.
La Rochelle last week meant rainy.
Okay.
And rainy and bloody windy as well.
Okay.
To be honest.
Anyway, so Elixir build that fabulous carbon
That's
trainer.
it.
Do they 3D print it or something?
No, they kind of have this one shot
Yeah.
production method. So you create the whole wing in one go. And there's no spar.
Okay.
There are some
Well,
webs.
I'm
and
guessing
stuff like
there is a
really-
spa, but
Well, it's
not as
in the
you
way
know
that
it.
not in the way that you know it. No, there's a significantly reduced parts count in there. They kind of got 3 factories. I didn't realise they've got 200 people working for them.
Wow.
They raised 40 million euros worth of stuff to get it going.
Yeah.
They got 3 factories, which is not ideal, but they're building a brand new factory. Be ready next year, I think, on the other side of the airport, La Rochelle. Really quite impressive facilities, and to look round and see the bits coming together is really quite. It's a very different thing to any other aircraft factory I've seen.
Yeah, and a whole bunch of, because Elixir, it's kind of pioneered by a whole bunch of young people, wasn't it? Do you remember we met this time? They were all like 12 at Friedrichshafen like 10 years ago.
So I was kind of walking around, and the guy said to me, "I'm not going to do the French accent." The guy said to me, "Have a look at the design office." And I walked in, and I kind of felt like saying, "So do their parents collect them at the end of the day?" or something. It was a very young bunch of energetic people.
Yeah.
So that was really good. They seem to be doing pretty well.
Yeah, and they've sold. There's orders in the States, I think.
They're big time.
And we've got some. There's some on a training fleet over here, aren't there?
Yep, there's some on training fleet over here. They're working quite hard in the US.
Yeah.
I think they got lots of orders, impressions of interest, or impressions of interest.
Letters of interest. Yeah. Yes.
Letters of interest.
Yeah.
So that seems to be good. So hopefully we'll get back out there when the weather's sunnier.
Yeah.
Not so windy.
Yeah.
But before all the thousands of tourists arrive in La Rochelle, and go and jump in and go and do some flying and
very good.
Have a go. So that'll be good. Yeah. Anyway, coming up on the show tonight, or even coming up on the show this week.
Yes.
Depending on when you watch it, it's a big airfield update. Lots going on with airfields. We all know airfields are the lifeblood of aviation, and we need them. And it's probably fair to say there's a few with some problems that we wish they didn't have.
Yeah.
So this is one of a few airfield updates for this year, isn't it?
Yes. Hopefully some of them will be positive.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, time to move on. Thank you very much, SkyDemon, for supporting the Flyer Show. Here is your top tip for the week.
Hi, I'm Hannah from SkyDemon, and this is this week's top tip.
One of the options in the logs menu is the debriefing pack, which allows you to generate a document containing lots of useful information about the selected log. It includes a map with your track log overlaid, the virtual radar showing a vertical profile of the flight, and some general flight statistics like flight time and blocks times. Here we can see a post-flight pilot log with the actual times of arrival at the waypoints in your planned route. And there's also a list of significant events during the flight, such as airspace that you went through and airfields and waypoints that you passed. The debriefing pack is a PDF and it can be printed out, saved or shared by email. For more information, go to our website skydemon.aero.
So worryingly, Hannah says, for any airspace you may have flown through. It's like,
Well,
hopefully I was aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, and you can fly through it with permission, can't you? So this is all about that kind of briefing pack. I think it's, I mean, I tend not to use it when I'm fairly current and stuff like that, but I haven't flown for bloody ages, apart from like broken leg, weather, aircraft grounding, thanks to the trust. I'm back.
You're back?
I'm back and legal.
Yeah.
But I still haven't flown yet. I've got to go and get the airplane later this week, hopefully, when it stops raining. But it's really good to be able to, if you are a little bit out of the picture, to sit back, I wonder what actually happened there and have a good look.
Yeah.
So a useful little feature.
Wonder what happened there.
Wonder what happened there. I appear to be in front of the hangar. How did that happen? Doesn't everyone do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, it's certainly very damp. I just walked out and came back, and it was damp. I wonder whether that's going to change. Let's see what Simon has for us.
Evening all, I hope you are well this evening. Looking forward to the weekend. Do you know what? Fingers crossed. I think I can find you not a bad weekend ahead. All we have to do is hope that the weather plays ball and that the timings of what I'm about to show you work out. But it looks like being good news. Well, semi-good news, at least, at last. Let's take a look at things then. These are the charts from the high-resolution German Icon EU model. And I think this presents the best solution this weekend. The times there are in the top right-hand corner as I scroll through. So this is the chart for 9 AM on Friday morning. You see here, we've got rain, probably sleet and some snow over the hills of central parts of England and Wales running into Eastern Ireland. Now, freezing levels are dropping behind as the winds turn round into a northeasterly as this front clears south. Few snow showers getting into the far northeast of England, perhaps eastern Scotland, but you can see here, look, how well broken the cloud is. Clearer skies coming through, decent conditions coming down through Scotland. But as I say, the freezing levels dropping as that cold air sinks southwards. So there we go, look, there's that front sinking its way southwards. Cold air goes with it. And eventually, by Friday evening, that rain clears from the south. Now, flying for Friday gets better across northern England, eventually through the Midlands, through Wales, through Ireland, Scotland looking good as well. But as I say, just be aware that these freezing levels are going to be sinking. And with that rain in the south, and as I said, some sleet and snow, really there's going to be quite a significant icing risk across southern parts of the country through Friday. Now, overnight to Saturday, sharp frost forms. And then Saturday morning, starting fair for most of us. You see there, very little cloud. However, with so much moisture around in the ground, I think we could find some fog patches around first things. They will lift, and then actually it's a decent sort of day. We're looking at bases probably at around about 3,000-4,000 feet, tops at about 7,000-8,000 feet. A lovely ridge of high pressure there. The ridge is that N shape that you see in the isobars there. However, notice by morning we've already got some cloud increasing across Ireland. That's going to be high level cirrus cloud, and that spills eastwards and increases as we get into the afternoon. Rain then getting across Ireland, knocking on the door of southwest England by dark, but I think for most of us it will have been a good day. And as that cirrus cloud moves in, yes, the winds will increase across western areas, but generally it stays pretty fair. So you see what I mean about Saturday not being a bad day. Now, overnight to Saturday, we've got that rain coming in. It meets the colder air that we'll have had across the country, and it could bring a few hours of sleet and snow to parts of Scotland, to parts of central, southern and eastern England. But as it clears eastwards, milder air is following in behind, so that by midday, really it's only going to be Scotland that still sees cloud and outbreaks of rain, heavy showers, some rain in western parts of Scotland, some showers across northwest England, northern and western parts of Wales as well. These possibly wintry, but as I said, the milder air is moving in all the time. Quite breezy for northern England and for Scotland. For the south, the winds are lighter. Could be misty and murky for a while behind the front, but as the afternoon progresses, things should improve. Not for everybody though, because there's an area of rain that then drifts through the Channel and southern England. Again, significant icing risk associated with that, so cross-channel probably not on. But western Scotland, northwestern parts of England, northwestern Wales, western parts of Ireland seeing a few heavy showers. Some of those could be wintry, but for many more eastern areas and central areas of the country, it looks like it does improve. So pick of the days for the weekend certainly looks to be Saturday, Sunday, getting better. And you can get better at forecasting yourself by getting yourself along to my Aviation Weather School Part 1. All of my courses are full at the moment, but I'm just about to announce some more. So if you'd like me to pop you across an email and let you know when the course dates are announced and what they are, just go to weatherschool.co.uk or use the QR code that you see on the screen there, and I will let you know as soon as those course dates are announced. I've actually got a Part 2 course for those who have already been to Part 1. That's going to take place on the Tuesday evenings of the 24th of February and the 3rd of March. So you can book your place now at weatherschool.co.uk. If you can't wait that long, then if you go to aviation at weatherschool.co.uk and just click on the Pilot's Guide to Scutees, that's my recorded course. Lasts about 3 hours, gives you a certificate at the end, and you get a free ebook with it. And it will unlock the mystery of these amazing diagrams. These are the things I would show you if it were me doing the PPL Met exams. Okay, I will leave you with that for now. Whatever you're doing, have a safe weekend. Make the most of it. Sorry I've taken up so much time, but there was detail in that forecast, and I'll catch you next week. Bye for now.
Maybe still damp.
Well, I think there's some. I'm going to be positive.
Changes
afoot. Yeah.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah, I was talking to someone the other day, and he was talking about this kind of weather, and he was saying, I don't know, everyone says, oh yeah, this is a once-in-a-generation kind of weather. And every year it's once in a bloody generation.
That's a lot of generations.
It's a lot of generations, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, on to some news. I'm going to lead off with news today.
Yeah.
And this is news of another Civil Aviation Authority consultation. I know, cheer, calm your beating hearts. This one's all about the pilot medical declaration, not so much about the pilot medical declaration itself, but about what you can and can't do with it if you happen to be a FI flight instructor or a CRI instructor. So effectively, at the moment, there's a bit of a, I don't want to use the word loophole because other people have used it, and I'm not entirely sure it's true, an unintended consequence perhaps,
yes,
where you can instruct for the initial issue of a PPLA if you're a flight instructor with a PMD.
Yeah.
And the CEO basically said, look, if you need a Class 2 medical for that to be issued, you're going to need a Class 2 medical to teach it.
Yeah.
And so if the changes are made as they are proposing, you will no longer, and you're an instructor teaching ab initio PPLs on a PMD, you will no longer be able to do that. You'll have to go and get your Class 2 medical. There's some background to all this, which is the CA Medicals Department unstatistically based ridiculous requirement for all sorts of extra stuff, but we'll come back to that another day. So if, however, you're training for an MPPL, then you can do that on a PMD, and a CRI can do what they do on a PM. So a CRI could do the hour with an instructor on a PMD, if you like, even if it's for a PPL, because it's someone who's got the license, medical already, if you like, or not even the medical necessarily.
Yeah. Well, you've done. I think you've done well to distill data out of that consultation, because it might have been one of the most impenetrable things I've read from the CAA. Well, almost I tried to read from the CAA in a long time.
There's a key paragraph in there which is just impenetrable.
Yeah.
And you hate it. It starts off as impenetrable. Then it goes, and this is according to this, and this is, and you follow all the links, and you end up down this rabbit hole. Because the next bit of legislation then refers to another bit. It's like there is just no clear guidance. Yeah. But anyway, so
plus they forgot to put the dates in, didn't they? As well?
Yes. So it ends on the 9th of March because in there they forgot to put the.
There was just
date.
X's.
Yeah. So go have a look at it.
Yeah.
Work your way through it. Effectively, what it means is FIs won't be able to teach for PPLAs, but will be able to teach for MPPLs with a PMD.
Yeah. You're a CRI. What do you think of it as a CRI?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think the fact that CRIs can do their instructor hour and other stuff working towards other class ratings, if you like, with a PMD is fine, because you're teaching someone who's who's experienced, and I do think there's it's worth thinking about if you're instructing for a living and you have ab initio people who've never sat in an airplane before and come along and sit beside you, they probably do have an expectation that you've got half a chance of finishing the lesson alive. But again, the stats don't bear that out. I mean, if we went purely on statistics, I think we'd probably be everyone would just fly on PMDs recreationally, full stop.
Yeah.
You do wish the CEA's medical department did actually use evidence to justify
the CEA's
all
medical
this.
department about the stress ECG.
Yeah.
I think they've done. Let's give them the fact that they were well intentioned, but I think they've caused untold harm actually.
Yes, yeah. I think I'm quite happy to submit myself to a Class 2 medical every year, but not if I have to do the stress test.
Stress ECG, yeah. But the PMD, I think the PMD is really good. There's a whole load of confusing stuff about using it overseas and the various conditions where you can and can't use it.
But we are leaders in that whole PMD thing.
We are.
Aren't
We're currently doing it much better than the Americans.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're doing a lot of things better than the Americans at the moment.
Talking of America.
Yes.
Talking of America, a big surprise in the world of AOPA US, because they've got their CEO is a guy called Darren Pleasance, took over about 13 months ago. Oh yeah, it was. So this guy Darren Pleasance, very, very popular CEO of AOPA US, and big surprise announcement from AOPA saying he is leaving with immediate effect, and AOPA US saying it's becoming increasingly clear that the CEO role should be based full-time in Frederick, Maryland, and Darren lives across the country on the other side, but has been very visible all through the year. He's been everywhere, kind of up in Alaska, all events he's travelled. He's probably, in the short time, he's probably been one of the most visible and well-travelled AOPA CEOs ever.
Yeah.
So this is a real shock. And the internet, unsurprisingly, has kind of blown up in support of him. One big supporter was Mike Bush, a well-known engine guru. Mike going, Darren has a rare combination of hands-on flying and aircraft ownership experience coupled with high-level executive experience, which is kind of what you want in that kind of top advocate role for aviation.
A whole bunch of people saying he was the real deal. And I think the other thing is, and I'm not going to accuse AOPA US of lying, but I am going to say that if you say he's leaving with immediate effect and then go, it's because he didn't want to move, kind of thing. You're like, well, does that really make sense, honestly? Are you surprised that people are a little bit cynical about that? I wouldn't be.
It's definitely, and Mike says, it makes no sense. I find the lack of transparency from the AOPA board deeply troubling. There is a petition that's been started to call for his reinstatement. That's got 4,000 people signed up to it already. I was really surprised to hear hear this, and I think the rest of the GA community seems to be the same, because he seemed like a good guy. RV6 owner, flyer, all sorts of other aeroplanes.
Cannot be wrong.
Is that because he's a good guy?
Doesn't make that a thing, but he was.
We need to search for an RV villain.
No, there's no such thing. He just. Everyone seemed to bond with him because he was AOPA more recently sometimes accused of being a bit more biased towards the jet set, and actually Pleasance brought along a whole bunch of just GA brilliance. So but
we'll see what happens. It's one of those things where we don't, as the Americans would say, we don't have a dog in that fight.
No, but it's a shame
to just stand by and eat some popcorn.
Yeah, but it is a shame to see someone who clearly was a great fit removed.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Better news. Aero, the world's largest general aviation trade show, takes place this year from the 22nd to the 25th of April. And it's usual, same place, Friedrichshafen with the airport, where you can fly in. And they've now opened, tomorrow they open the pre-registration for slots to fly in. You have to book a slot in order to fly in and also to get out again. So they're going to pre-register, and then from mid-March, there'll be registered users will be notified in stages about booking and paying for it all.
This sounds a bit complex.
Well,
Register for your slot. And then we'll invite you to book your slot. Are they fearing, they don't have a good history of booking slots in the past,
their
do
slot
they?
system has been quite possibly one of...
well, no, this year they've talked to everybody apparently to how to tweak it.
They said that last year as well.
Anyway, hope this...
No, stop it, Ian. Stop.
So-
I do apologise. Sorry.
So that's for the main bulk of aircraft flying in. But if you're a microlight, there's a special field, the Markdorf gliding airfield, around 10 kilometres west of Friedrichshafen. Is that still on the same side as?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. There's Lake Constance in the way, and I was thinking
it's
that
not.
must be west.
A million miles probably from where we're staying, really.
No. But there's more. And members of the Flyer Club can get 50% off the price of a one-day ticket, whether you're flying in or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It is, yeah. You have to go to your members' dashboard, and on there's a coupon with a code that you use when you buy a ticket.
What do you mean? Are you saying you're not a member? Go to flyer.co.uk/membership now and join for just £6 per month and enjoy 50% off, plus lots of free landing fees and lots of other great stuff as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fair to say we're really looking forward to this year's. I mean, we always do, but
My favourite show. It's so civilised.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. Paul Bertorelli was always he knew shows and he was like, I love Aero.
Yeah. It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yep.
Right then, Ed.
Very good. It's me. Me
It's you.
next. Are you a closet air racer?
Well, you will be with your drones.
I know. Yeah. Well, maybe 2026 is your year to go. I'm going to do some air racing, and if you are, then the British Air Racing Championship for 2026, they've got an air race school that's going to take place at Popham on the 18th and 19th of April, which aims to bring new people into air racing. And you can go with your own aeroplane, or you can go along without an aeroplane, and they will find a way to help you.
Walk around the car park.
That's
quickly.
it. Run around the site. They say any willing participant can attend either day, as both days are identical, and you can learn about the rules, regulations, and techniques involved in air racing. It's free to attend as well.
They just want you to pre-register, don't they?
Yes, yeah. You can do that at Royal Aero Club rrra.co.uk.
I mean, could we think of anyone who's got like an RV3 or something painted in funky colours?
Yeah.
Who could...
Like a GES, yeah. I did some air racing 30 years ago. And so I have done my air racing thing. But I would, it's fun.
You should do it in the RV3.
I haven't got time to do all these things.
Well, it's quick.
Yes, yeah, but there are 5 events through the year this year: Haverfordwest, Fishburn, Wellesbourne, Sherburn in Elmer, and Shobden. So, yeah.
You just go do the score, do one, win it, and go, right, that's it. I'm declaring victory.
Yeah. Useful things to know. To race, you must have at least 100 hours P1, and your aeroplane must be capable of at least 100 miles an hour straight and level. But there used to be a thing about having to race at full power. That you don't have to do that now because they've got clever handicapping software that they can calculate your stuff.
Your handicap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Right. Have you ever wondered how high you are? No,
Often.
Often, yeah.
Usually it's landing. It's like, is it there yet? Is it there yet? Oh.
So good news is you can now buy a GHA 15 Garmin Height Advisor 15. Garmin Height Advisor 15. It's basically they don't want to call it a rad out. They call it a height advisor. I don't know why they don't call it a rad out, but anyway,
it is.
It's a radar based. Yeah. It's a radar based thing that gets screwed to the bottom of your airplane. Works with G3X Touch or GI 275s. Yep. Then it gives you height above ground or water. Up to 500 feet, and then you can determine the call outs you get from 300 feet down to 1 feet. Obviously, not going to call out every foot.
Well, you say that. Well, no. In the last, yeah, in the
299, 298, 200.
Yeah, okay. But I watched a video last week of someone who had one on a sling TSI.
Yeah.
And they were landing, and they flared. They fluffed their flare a bit, and they went back up, and it was like 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 4. 3.
Stall.
Yeah. No. But you go, wow, that is really granular in its accuracy.
1 foot increments. It'll do that. I don't think it does the Airbus thing where it goes retard. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's much kinder than that.
Yeah. So the G3X Touch can only be used with the experimental aircraft.
Okay.
And you have to use GI 275 on certified aircraft.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, impressive piece of kit.
Yeah.
It is impressive. I probably won't choose to fit one to the 182, but it's $2,300 and something to buy, and then probably something similar to fit, I imagine.
If you're into glassy water ops in a seaplane,
yes,
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's a lot of people who go, it's another toy. I quite like having my toys, so.
Yeah, well, I think that's it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm cool nonetheless because it is a very, having watched it in action, very impressive.
So glassy water ops, you don't really need it.
No, because you just
kind of pitch your attitude and then just sit there and hold it and wait until you get there.
True,
but it would be good to know when it's going to suddenly go down. Anyway, Dave.
Dawn to Dusk. Last week they had the Dawn to Dusk winners' trophy award ceremony.
Dinner.
Dinner, that was it, yeah. And they announced the winners of the various categories for last year's Dawn to Dusk Challenge. The top prize, known as the Duke of Edinburgh Trophy, went to a French pilot called Karen Locatelli.
French and British?
Sorry?
French and British.
French and British, sorry. Who flew between the two Monts Saint-Michel, the French one just off the coast of Normandy and the English one just off the coast at Penzance.
Yeah.
So she won that. That's quite a chunk of sea to cover that.
Yeah,
it is.
That's a water crossing.
Yeah, she was kind of fairly brand new PPL.
Yes. Wow. Makes it even more impressive.
So yeah, it was. I can't remember how many hours she had, but it wasn't a huge amount at all.
No,
because of course you're a judge.
I'm a judge,
Dusk, aren't you?
yeah.
So you get to see the full gamut of entries.
All of the entries.
Yeah.
And we have a grid. I mean, obviously, I'm not the only judge, clearly. There's a whole bunch of us, and we go through marking different categories and different things, and then add it all up at the end and have a chat about it. And compare notes.
Well, second place went. It's called the Coventry Trophy. Went to a couple of Belgians, Wendy Jansen. That's a Mr. Wendy.
It is.
Yep,
You're right.
Yep. And Petra van Mulders for their new wings over old lands, which I.
Yeah, they were recent PPLs. They both got their PPL very recently.
Wings,
the new wings.
Yeah.
Old Land's not sure where that came from. But she went to see. They went to see her sister who lives near Welshpool or something.
Okay.
Right.
For a cup of tea one day.
Right.
Nice.
And back.
I think it sounds like what this says to me is that Dawn to Dusk, no matter whether you're grizzled and old in flying or brand new,
there's something for you.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike Roberts of what used to be Take Flight.
Yeah.
Put in a fantastic entry and got the Guinness Book of Records award for it, which is kind of landing in the most countries. And I think they started. I'll be careful what I say here. They took advantage of the longer days up north.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so started in the middle of the night when up here it was still down here it had still been dark.
Yeah.
And sort of flew through God knows how many countries. I can't remember off the top of my head. But
that's impressive.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do stuff like that is really impressive.
Yeah.
You don't have to do stuff like that. You can do much more local stuff as well.
Well, yes. In fact, in third place, who won? This is for the Tiger Club Trophy, was none other than Nick Orchard.
A Ronca Champ flyer.
That's right, and probably you have to say, looking at the title of her essay, her report,
book.
It was called "A Distracted Search for a Fancy Hanger Home."
Yeah,
I think we had a hand in that.
Yeah, no, Nick's a regular competitor and does some brilliant books. And I think last year she looked at mazes, and then the year before that was follies. And when you're looking and judging the entry, you get a whole education on this stuff that you just didn't know about.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I didn't know about it before. Really good.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's free to enter.
Yeah.
Free to enter. There's a whole load of great planning that you can do, great flying you can do, great putting the log together. Fantastic dinner.
Yeah.
I missed it this year. I was not very well that night, unfortunately. Right. But
and I think I'm right in saying that friend of the show Derek Pake, who's been a multiple winner of Dawn to Dusk in the past, set a new high bar for fundraising, didn't he?
Yep.
He and his flying partner Kate.
Flying partner.
set smashed like £10,000.
Over 10,000 collected for charity. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
which won them the Schnabel Trophy,
Yep.
I think. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Frank Schnabel.
Yeah.
Yep. There was also a trophy for an electric aircraft for the first time.
There was.
Ah.
Yep. There's
Was it the Electrolux Trophy?
I can't remember what it was called actually, but no, they flew a Pipistrel Velis Electro down at Fair Oaks and took people up for a flight all day. And I guess they must have some rapid charging system.
Well, I guess if you were at Fair Oaks, maybe you can just stay on the extension lead in the circuit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Anyway, well done.
Yeah, no, it was good. Look out for it. Enter this year and get planning now.
Yeah.
It's jolly good. And in breaking news, we just had a little email through saying that Flightline Aviation have just become the official dealer for Bristell certified aircraft in the UK.
That's a great line of aircraft.
UK, Isle of Man and Ireland, I think.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great line of aircraft that Bristell have.
Yeah, Bristell have been gradually plugging away, haven't they, doing things? And then the whole certified line.
Yeah.
Lots of good things coming there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, more to come, I guess.
More to
then.
come.
Yeah. It's Flightline's first venture into working with a manufactured aircraft, manufacturer's aircraft.
Yeah, because they've been selling airplanes up until
Yeah, they're
this
kind of
point, haven't
broker charter,
Brokers,
kind
yeah.
of
Broker
thing,
charter,
but
yeah.
they've been doing a lot of jet stuff. And
they? Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Cool. Club news.
Club news. Yes, so
News.
we've got free landings for February. Cromer, Holbeck Farm, Netherthorpe and Sherburn and Elmets.
Well, let's not forget that it's not Holmbeck Farm, it's Cakebeck Farm.
Cakebeck Farm,
Cake
yes,
Farm,
of
yeah.
course.
So,
Yes.
are they out of cakes yet? Somebody needs to go there and find out.
Yeah.
There's also a whole bunch of. I think we got a webinar coming up with Darren, because Darren was on the show last week when I wasn't around,
Yep.
talking about RT numpties, illustrated with a picture of me. So I didn't take that. That's interesting.
Thanks, guys.
Well, you weren't here.
Absolutely. So Darren's coming back doing some RT tips, I believe.
Yeah,
for
he's
a
doing.
webinar.
He's doing top tips for RT success.
Committed you to that, Darren.
Yeah.
Which
He's
is
fine
which is
with
good,
that, yeah.
which
Yeah.
is good. There was a licensing update from Ed Bellamy.
Yeah.
Who did one. We've got Nigel Webb who did something on airframe icing.
Yeah,
There's
so-
been I can't remember, we need to count and see how many there are.
Lots
Yeah.
and lots.
There's
of good
lots and
stuff.
lots and lots. We could just increase the number every week. And just
Yeah.
go, there are 5,000 videos you can watch, but you need to be a member of the club.
Yes,
Um,
fact check that
But
one.
yeah,
So.
so definitely worthwhile.
Yes.
And don't forget, flyer.co.uk/membership to join.
£6 per month.
Yeah.
Bargain.
Yes. So,
And if you're a member, you get 5% off of everything at Pooley's, apart from Bose headsets.
right, yes.
Just,
Very good.
There's a whole bunch of discounts like that, actually.
There are.
Yeah.
There are, absolutely.
Main story.
Main story. Yeah, so this is really an airfield update. There's a lot of airfield updates at the moment. A lot of airfields not enjoying the best of times. And I don't just mean the weather.
Yeah.
I mean sort of in the wider picture. And I'm going to kick off with Popham. As you know, the consultation recently closed. The second consultation really recently closed because it materially changed from the first consultation. So that went out. And one of the things that really annoyed people was the fact that there was a comment and it was something about Popham not being strategically important. Well, I think the only word to that is bollocks. If Popham's not strategically important, then where is strategically important as a GA airfield in the UK?
Yeah.
And that clearly caused the council to go, oh, maybe we're a little bit premature with saying that. I don't know. So they've commissioned an independent consultant to go and verify that, look at the movements, and to make to see just how strategically important it is. And we all know it is. There's maintenance organisations, flight training organisations, 170 odd aircraft based there,
That is
20,000 plus movements. It's a real kind of it's the beating heart of general aviation in the south of the UK.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a fantastic airfield. So that report is being compiled at the moment. I've spoke to Mike Pearson, the airfield manager there, more on that shortly, who said that he's spoken to people because obviously everyone's a little bit cynical. So hang on a second, the council have sponsored this report, but it's going to be published, so it will be verifiable. And the people who've been involved in it so far, who've spoken to this consultant, have all said no, actually, so far. Seems pretty kosher. So that will be delivered to the council in early March, so not too far off, and then we'll get to see that shortly after that, hopefully, and then make a judgment. But the other thing was April the 30th, which is the day before or maybe 2 days before the Popham Microlight Trade Fair,
Yeah.
will actually be Mike Pearson's last day
No.
at Popham. So
How is that a thing?
Mike's moving on. I don't know how that's the thing. It's airfields are a little bit like pubs. If you've got a great landlord, you end up with a great pub.
Yeah.
If you've got a landlord who's not quite so talented, you end up with a pub that's not quite so good.
Yeah.
And Mike has done a fantastic
Mike has
job.
done a fantastic job, and he had big shoes to fill as well at Popham.
Yeah.
So Mike is moving on.
I am really sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I think I'm really sorry to hear it as well, and we're all really sorry to hear it. So
My only hope is that Mike moves on and takes his enthusiasm and love for GA and takes it to another project.
I don't think Mike is the kind of person to go, that's it, I'm done, I'm not going to...
Yeah.
He will be
What can I do next?
promoting general aviation and pushing for the good
Yeah.
of general aviation.
Yeah.
So big thanks to... We should probably do something, get him out, get him on or something like that, and do some more stuff around that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that was... So that's the Popham
That's the
update.
Popham
Watch
news.
this space still.
I've got some Gloucester news because obviously the deal to sell Gloucester Airport.
The one that had to be done by the end of January.
Well, I was going to say, the 25 million pound bargain deal to sell Gloucester Airport to the Horizon Aero Group by the end of January has not concluded yet. Obviously, the councils involved, that's Cheltenham Borough Council and Gloucester City Council, have said communication with the Horizon Group remains constructive and will be crucial as all parties continue to work collaboratively towards the completion of the sale. I guess all this time against a background of the fact that actually they're running at a loss.
They're running at a loss, and they have something like £19 million worth of debt.
Yeah, well, because obviously the discussion about Gloucester is a big topic on the Flyer forum, and a former Gloucester airport manager and friend of Flyer, Darren Lewington, posted to say the airport company's position is now precarious. It owes its shareholders £19 million in defaulted loans, which I assume means is technically insolvent. If it were to fold, the CA licence would fall away and those legal issues would be all the more complex to resolve.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
That 19 million must be costing an awful lot of money to service as well.
yeah, to service that kind of
that's
debt.
effectively owed to the two councils, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
And I don't think those two councils are. I mean, no council these days is flush with money.
Well, Gloucester City Council is on the verge of bankruptcy
yeah.
itself.
So you're not going to go, 90 million, don't worry about it.
Yeah. I think Gloucester is actually counting on that money because they've asked the government for a big multi-million pound bailout.
Yeah.
So
You think though maybe they would put a higher price on the airport?
25 million for Gloucester Airport does not seem a huge price.
It doesn't seem a huge price, but it depends what you're going to do with it, doesn't it? It's not a huge price if you're going to turn it into housing.
If you were going to do that.
If you were going to do something like that. On the other hand, if you were going to bring the airport back up to where it was before with all the facilities it had before and everything else, there's quite a lot of stuff that needs spending there on top of that. And, you know, the current, I don't know, not the current manager, but the last current manager, he left at the end of January.
Yes.
So there's a whole load of people. There's a lot of work to do to that place to get it. I mean, let's be honest. When Darren was airfield manager at Gloucester, it was
vibrant.
It was vibrant, and it was the best general aviation airport
80
of its kind in the
80,000
UK.
movements.
It was
a year?
busy. It was
Yeah.
friendly. It wasn't overburdened with a whole load of rubbish. And then we had then gradually, you know, in the same way that Facebook went from something good at one point to something rubbish now.
Yes.
Gloucester's not rubbish. It's still a great airport, but it's declined from its heyday.
Its excellence was eroded.
It's excellent. Yeah, the great pub landlord moved away.
Yeah.
And the pub landlords that took over weren't
I think
as good.
Part of the problem is here, I think, is that, and Gloucester and the councils have admitted it themselves, is that they are councils. They don't know how to run airports, and they do not know how to handle this business. Really and truly, Gloucester Airport is...
I don't know how to employ people who know how to run airfields.
Well, yeah.
Is what is the problem.
It's really a big industrial estate that happens to have a really good runway, a couple of runways, and really good airfield facilities.
Yeah.
It's a question of, I mean, it's huge potential at Gloucester. Look at the location. It's on the crossroads between the A40 and the M5.
Yeah.
Crikey, what a brilliant location.
Yeah, not far from the M4.
Yep.
Yeah, no, fantastic location. So, it is an airfield. It's not being closed.
No.
But there's a deal that should have been done that hasn't been done. There are all sorts of rumours running around that, and who knows, frankly, how many of those are true or not true.
Yeah.
But we just need to watch this space and see what happens, because something's going to happen sooner or later.
Yeah.
Can't drag on forever. We're now, edging towards the middle of February, aren't we?
That's right, yeah.
So a couple of weeks over. Yeah. Talking about an airfield that is closing, that has a date for closing, Coventry.
That's such a shame.
Coventry was going to be anyway. I sat down and had a chat with Steve Clark, who runs Aerotech. He's one of the directors of Aerotech, and
that's one of the businesses on the airfield.
One of the businesses on the airfield that's also announced that it too is closing. And here is my chat with Steve. You'll be well aware of the bad news of Coventry closing, and recently we heard that Aerotech was also closing. I'm joined here by Steve Clark, director of Coventry-based Aerotech, to give us some background and tell us what's going on. Steve, thanks for joining us. What's the story in a nutshell?
Well, Aerotech's been at Coventry for well over 26 years. We started off in Kemble a couple of years before, but we've been primarily at Coventry, and we were hoping to continue working there. Unfortunately, as probably a lot of membership knows, the airport is now going to be closing. We've been given the date of June the 11th. The reason being that they want to make preparatory construction work for this gigafactory that they spoke about. We've always said that the gigafactory was never a going concern, and they still haven't got anybody interested in building a gigafactory there. But unfortunately, the developer, who is the Rigby Group, who's been working in partnership with Coventry City Council, has decided to push ahead past the preliminary planning proposal and now start to set up to build the start of this, such as a larger substation and some other ancillary entrances and things like that. And also to put a spine road down the centre of the airfield, which takes the runway out now. So still without anybody to do a gigafactory, the airfield is now going to be permanently shut. We've always said that Coventry has potential to be like Oxford, and we were always hopeful that if we'd been given a chance, we could have developed the infrastructure there. But quite the opposite has happened over the last 10 years. The ILS has gone, the ATC has been downgraded, the radar's gone, and the airport has basically run down over that period, so that it's not viable, whereas it could be. And now we're in the situation where, without anybody coming in to build a gigafactory, they're going to shut it, and they're just using. Basically, they've now turned it into an enterprise zone, so they're going to use £23 million of taxpayers' money which has come available to try and set it up as an incentive to get people to come there. And we believe that the whole reason behind the gigafactory initially to have to use the Coventry Airport was because the footprint of the factory itself had to be so large that only the airport area would do in order to place that gigafactory. However, since then, because they can't get a customer, and in fact, since Parker and JLR had a look at it and decided it wasn't viable and moved down to Somerset, where they've set up there, they've now changed the planning and made it into much more smaller building blocks that they want to put on the airport, which negates the reason for the large gigafactory. And in fact, I've even had a look at the plans, the architect's plans, and the plot one of the smaller buildings on the airport. It even has drawings of lorries and bays and wash bays around that to show that it is warehouses with the propaganda on it, which we feel is quite bad in the showcase that the whole reason that the protection and the green belts and the covenants around the airport were overruled at the planning on the whole assumption that it was just the gigafactory and the necessity to create all of these jobs, which allowed them to do that, where in fact we're going to end up probably with warehouses and one of the best runways in the Midlands destroyed as a result. So that's in a nutshell where we are, and it's all very sad, and we're going to have to shut as a result of that.
Clearly, Aerotech, as a maintenance company, an aircraft maintenance company, is going to struggle without a runway.
Well, we've tried to. This is the problem with being tied to airports with your primary living. We've been happily working at Coventry. We've tried to look at alternative arrangements, but this is the nature of the world we live in now, as you well know, Ian. Warne, that's under threat, so we looked at going there, but that would be out of the frying pan into the fire. They're very much fighting for their own survival. And even if we were to try and move, which we did look at seriously, and we had very kind offers from other airports to help us out, such as Wellesbourne, but there's very little chance of us being able to build a new hangar there. And if we did, then chances are we would lose it after a short period of time. There's very little hope that we would have the certainty to get a long lease on that. We've been very helpful, David Owen at Western tried to help us out. But my problem is that my staff all live around the local area of Coventry, and wherever we looked at, we've had offers at Western, at Gloucester, Oxford itself. We've looked at all of these alternatives, and unfortunately, it's mostly too far for the staff to commute. So if I did, Robert and myself, my partner, Robert Doxley, who is the primary chief engineer, fellow partner, he lives up at East Midlands, and again, we'd probably lose over half the staff if we did try to locate somewhere. So we're basically setting up from you. And also we've looked at all of the other aerodromes in the area, and it's very difficult, but most of them are under threat. We've looked at places as far as Deansthorpe, Leicester itself, earlier in there. And we eventually came down to just trying to see if we could survive at a grass strip. But then again, we specialise in the PA-46 Malibu and Jet Fox twins, and so we'd have to go back to just looking after PA-28 and Cessnas from a little grass strip, which is nothing wrong with those, of course, but it's not our primary means of making a living. So it's very, very sad, and we've basically been forced out of business as a result of this. And what's really sad is we honestly believe if we come back in a few years, the airfield site will still be fallow, or they'll be building factories on it, and we would maintain that there won't be a factory there.
So, as I understand it, you're aiming to you're basically going to be closing the doors around, is it 31st of March?
Yes, we've taken the decision. The main Robert's been very sensible in the fact that having looked into it, we'd much rather have control over what happens. So we'll be able to be given our staff 20 years notice. Most of them have now, they will get redundancy payments as a result, and most of them now have been able to search around and try and find employment with people such as Gamma up at East Midlands or down at the other engineering companies. The good news for most of the staff is that, as people know, engineers are very few and far between in our GA market, and they've been snapped at, and this has probably been the best thing for the staff in the fact that although we're very much a family and we've been together for years, you can imagine if we tried to set up somewhere else and then literally in a couple of years' time it wasn't working and we went bust, then that would be a horrendous situation to have thrown the staff into. So here we feel it's the best situation, although it's very much a sad day for Aeroflot.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for explaining the situation both at Coventry and Aerotech. I wish you and your team the very best for the future. and hopefully we'll get to pop up and see you before the runway at Coventry disappears, and before you.
Yeah, on a good note, perhaps we can try and do try and get people to fly in before it closes, so we can get it in their logbooks and we can say goodbye. But Coventry's got such a great heritage with all of the King's Cup races and all of the Atlantic, everything that's happened over the years. It's a shame for it to go with the winter before it's shut. And yes, it'd be wonderful to do something like that for you before we go. Thank you.
Well, let's see if we can make that happen. That would be great. Steve Clark, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well,
that's a really sorry story.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you see a runway like that, it's like they just don't get replaced at that scale.
No.
Unless you're talking about Heathrow, and that's not going to be done for who knows how long, and we're never going to get to land on it.
It's interesting the comparison he made with Oxford Airport, how Coventry could have been like Oxford, because there is nowhere really for business aviation to go. Birmingham International is.
I never understand how any council involved who has an airfield, can allow it to be destroyed, because you go, what an incredible asset to have.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they're never, like you say, they are never going to replace them.
No. Don't sell your airfield to a property developer is the short answer.
So talking of which,
Tollerton, or otherwise known as Nottingham City Airport, they've got a campaign group which is nicknamed SNAG. This is the acronym. It's led by a determined campaigner, to put it mildly.
The most determined,
yeah, Sarah Deacon, and they've just started a crowdfunder campaign, because they feel that the next step in the campaign to reopen Nottingham City Airport, the judicial review will be the next step should the local council adopt a proposed local plan which would see a new town built on the airport. Sarah Deacon said, Rushcliffe Borough Council appears to be preparing to adopt what's known as a supplementary planning document in its current form, despite serious gaps in traffic, highways, drainage, flooding and even viability. Is this a viable property development? If the SPD, as they call it, is approved without a robust and lawful evidence base, the only remaining option will be to pursue a judicial review, which is why they had to crowdfund a campaign, because it's an expensive process. The government's not going to pay for it. Nobody else is going to pay for it. Is it even possible for a campaign group to do this? Yes. And there is an example of a planning authority decision in Birmingham, which was quashed on the grounds that a lack of transparency after they failed to publish full viability assessment.
Okay.
Wow. So it is.
All power to them.
All power to them, yeah. We'll put a link to the crowdfunder campaign in the description below.
Okay, and our final airfield story is another one for you, Dave.
Yeah.
Yes, Old
Sarum. I believe they've been in court as well.
Yes, Old Sarum. It's actually Wilts County Council that's gone to court. They've gone to the High Court to appeal a decision made by the Planning Inspectorate last year to allow the building of 315 houses on the airfield, or parts of the airfield. The airfield will still remain operational. At least that's the plan. And but
for an airfield to be operational, don't you need to be able to land an aeroplane there?
You do. They're going
but you can't do it at the moment, can you? I can't.
No, you can't. But there is the parachute operation operating there at the moment.
Yeah,
that's about it.
That's it.
That's
it's closed to everybody else.
Closed to everybody
Even though
else.
they said, I think at one point that.
Yeah, if the planning decision goes well, we'll reopen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Then there was the fire.
There's a lot going on there, and the reason why Wilts County Council has gone to the High Court to appeal this decision is that because the planning inspector said you have to restore Hangar 3. This is the listed building. The day after the planning decision, Hangar 3 caught fire and was pretty much destroyed apart from a few walls.
Yeah.
So the Wilts County Council said, well, it's not possible to restore now. Therefore, the planning decision is faulty.
And I think the police did quite a thorough investigation. They even arrested somebody, but they couldn't take it any further.
No. There's all lines of inquiry
were
exhausted.
Extinguished.
Yeah. Yeah. There's obviously, it was very. Who's it convenient for? for that the hangar fire happened.
I mean, it could have just, it could have just happened. Who knows? But I
Yeah.
mean, the police were fairly,
Suspect?
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, they went after it, but they couldn't prove anything. No.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, well.
So we've asked Old Sarum management for their view. We haven't had an answer back yet. But as soon as we hear something, we'll
We'll let you know.
We'll let you know. The court case is actually going on at the moment.
Yeah.
It started on Tuesday. We haven't had a decision yet.
Airfield, UK lifeblood. If you've got Airfield news, please tell us about it. We are always interested in what airfields have going on, especially, unfortunately, if they're under threat.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And actually, we'd like to know some good news as well, so we can help
Yep.
celebrate and support airfields as well. And as soon as the weather changes, we can go out and actually visit some.
excellent.
Yeah.
That would be
Let's
cool.
look forward
wouldn't
to
it?
that.
That'd be cool. Yeah, absolutely. Right.
So, it's time for What Caught Your Eye this week. And I'm going to go for you, Ian.
Are you?
Yes.
Well, what caught my eye this week? I was flicking through social media, thinking, and then I thought, "What the is that? That looks." My initial assumption was, well, that's clearly some AI con, like almost everything else on social media these days is an
But
AI
I
con.
would have said
But no,
no.
it was something called Monte Warne's bubble plane. Here it is.
Which, if you're a mega nerd like me, you will remember from Sport Aviation magazine in 1996
Yeah, I was busy in 1996.
Yeah,
Like,
most people.
I'd only bought Flyer 2 years before that, and I was bloody busy trying to survive.
But Monte Warne's bubble plane. Tell us about that. That looks kind of cool.
Monte Warne is a guy who was from North Dakota originally, and at the time the bubble plane came along, he was in his 40s. So he took a breezy.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with a breezy, here's one of those. But if you're listening on the podcast, it's kind of it's like it's constructed with scaffolding.
It's an
poles.
aeroplane deconstructed.
It's a
isn't
skeleton of an aeroplane.
Yes.
A deconstructed high wing pusher kind of thing. So he took one of those, chopped the front off, chopped the back off, lowered the engine, and then I know what I'm going to use a set of PA 11 wings, so Cub wings.
And most importantly,
we get into the most important thing. We haven't finished with the wings yet. Then you go, I need some struts, so I'll use some PA 18 struts.
Right.
Stick those on. I know. I quite, the Breezer has got an amazing view out the front.
yeah, it's got no front.
But it's got because it hasn't got a front.
Yeah.
He decided he wanted a front, so he bought a canopy or a bubble canopy from a Bell 47.
And this is
And
fantastic.
put that on. So it's got a Lycoming 160 horsepower engine, big bubble canopy from the on the front. Put it all together. He was an A&P, so he knew a little bit about what he was doing.
And I think it flew as an experimental category aeroplane, but I remember it being reported on at the time, and everyone was just completely fascinated by it.
Yeah. And there's kind of like a continued fascination, and we got that there was the double ender.
Oh yeah, Alex. What was his surname? The guy who was big into stall, created the Rotax push pull, and
thing.
then that turned into the Ascender that we saw at Oshkosh. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's that kind of, and
but
I guess
this predates this, doesn't it?
Oh, this goes way back.
Yeah.
Way back, 1996. Yeah. So unfortunately, then I think probably, as far as I can see, it was kind of last mentioned somewhere in 2011, and since then.
It's kind of vanished without trace.
It's got no, the registration is now being used on a different
Something
aircraft
else.
by somebody else.
But
Monte would be in his 70s now.
Yeah, but
if he's still around.
In a fascinating aeroplane like that, you just go. It's clearly
That's
just
gotta be in a
taken
hangar.
apart, put in a hangar or something. It's just waiting for someone to find
It
it.
was last heard of in Tennessee somewhere.
Ed,
Yeah.
it sounds like our kind of project.
Yeah. Well, the trouble is, if I found that project and brought it over here, I'd have to present it to the LAA, and there would probably be the LAA do good work, but I feel this would definitely be a head scratcher for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just love that someone. I know we could do.
Imagine how many bugs you must kill with that on a summer's day.
Yeah.
Well, there are no bugs these days. That's why our windscreens stay clean.
I did read about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So fantastic. Dave, what caught your eye?
Well, it wasn't an aeroplane, actually. It was an event.
Oh.
Yes, the Raduno, which is a gathering in in Italy.
Yes.
And it's been organised by Riccardo Donardis,
Yeah.
Yep.
otherwise known as African Flyer on the Flyer Forum.
Yeah.
It's going to happen in 24th to the 26th of June, and Riccardo has just released the outline of the itinerary for the event. On the Wednesday, the 24th, you arrive at Trento for lunch, of course. Food is very important to the Raduno goers.
Obviously.
Yes. There's a full tour of the on-site Caprioni Aeroplane Museum.
Oh, I bet that'll be good.
Of course, of course. The next day, there's a departure for Verona Bosco Mantico, which apparently is where Romeo and Juliet's balcony is. Well,
Okay.
yeah, we're set anyway, put it like that,
Yes.
yes. And there's an arena as well.
Okay.
Plus there's more food in the evening. And on Friday, they're going to the Venice Lido. This is otherwise known as Aeroporto Nicelli, which is right there in Venice.
Dream Airport, isn't
Dream
it?
Airport.
It's one of the classic airports, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
it. Yep. And if you, there's probably more food there going on there as well.
I'd say so.
Yes. And then at the weekend, you don't have to stay for the weekend, but if you do want to stay for the weekend, there's a trip to the Historic Aircraft Group Fly Party at Bagnoli.
Which is that's a mega event.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hag party
Yeah.
Yeah.
is awesome.
It sounds brilliant.
Oh, it's just fantastic. And it's all done with a kind of relaxed Italian.
Yes.
Let's prioritise food and wine, but not what we're flying.
Well, Riccardo is very relaxed, despite being South African Italian.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. It
Yeah.
is really good.
Yeah,
I
if you
I'm
ever-
planning to be there.
If you ever fancy doing that, that is a trip to do.
Yeah. And if you fancy doing it, you just go to the Flyer Forum. There's a Raduno 2026 thread, and you find out a bit more about it.
It's in the fly. It's in the fly-ins bit. Yeah,
And there's lots of,
absolutely.
if you've not done that kind of thing in the past and you're feeling like you need a bit of hand holding, there will be someone, I'm sure, who will assist.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
We might even we should try and get Ricardo on between now and then to have a little chat about
talk
it. as
about the
well.
Raduno. Yeah.
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 And the menus.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So that just leaves me. And have you ever thought, I like this helicopter flying. I like the look of this helicopter flying lark, but they all look a bit expensive and complex. Well, then you need this. And I found it in the classifieds this week on Facebook. It's a Part 103 ultralight coaxial helicopter. Don't look too shocked. It's got 22 hours on it and it's ready to fly. You don't need a pilot's license, but you do need to have a helicopter dual instruction and become a proficient student pilot in a helicopter before flying it. It's called the SCH-2A. It's got full collective, cyclic, pedal controls, and you can auto-rotate, critically, just like a regular helicopter if you lose power. That power is a 62 horsepower MZ202 two-stroke.
What the screaming MZs?
Yes, and it can hover 270-pound pilot at 5,500 feet out of ground effect. Ooh.
hang on a second. Let's just run those numbers again.
Yes.
A 270-pound
pilot. Yes.
That's not a
Hold
jockey for a start.
No.
And then out of ground effect.
Yes.
At 5,500 feet.
Yes.
Is some feet.
Yes.
And that's on a 65 horse two-stroke.
62 horse.
62 horse two-stroke.
Are we questionable feeling about the numbers? Maybe.
Well, that's quite. I'm not going to go find out.
62 horsepower is not a lot of power in a helicopter.
No.
Yeah.
No. Granted, it doesn't have to lift very much. I looked at it. There's hardly anything to it. Anyway, if you fancied this, and I
don't.
No, I just happened to see this because it was unveiled at Oshkosh 2022, and it was fascinating to watch fly. But yeah, if you fancy this, 40k is your entry ticket to bargain basement helicopter flying. So for an extra 8k, you can have a trailer.
I would advise getting a helicopter license though, because they're fiendishly difficult to fly.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if any of our choices caught your eye, please tell us in the comments. Maybe you saw something far better than we found. So tell us about that too.
Unlikely, but
Events. Yes, there's a fly-in this weekend. It's on Sunday the 15th. It's the pancake flying at Slape.
at least they got a hard runway.
Yeah, no sploshing.
That would definitely help.
Yeah.
And cheap fuel.
And cheap fuel, yeah. One of the cheapest, I think they were claiming cheapest in the UK for members. Or something.
Yeah.
And it's a great place as well. Great people.
Okay, well, hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, particularly hit the like button. That really helps. Don't forget to join the club, flyer.co.uk/membership. Just £6 a month. Nearly said week there. I wish.
£6 a week.
£6 a month. £6 a month. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Hang on.
Join the Flyer Club and be part of the UK's biggest GA community. Save hundreds of pounds with free landing vouchers, watch expert-led webinars and access all the online content on flyer.co.uk. All this and more from just £6 per month or £62 for the full year. Join today at flyer.co.uk/membership.